The doors of the church opened slowly as the sound of soft piano music filled the room. People stood silently, many unable to hold back their emotions as they looked toward the front, where a beautiful white casket rested beneath warm golden lights and large floral arrangements. For so many people, this was not just another farewell. This was the final goodbye to a man whose voice had reached millions of homes, whose sermons had comforted families during their hardest moments, and whose presence had become part of people's lives for decades. Rev. James Robison had spent years inspiring audiences with messages of hope, faith, and perseverance. But on this emotional day, everything felt different. The cameras were quieter, the crowds were calmer, and even those who usually found the right words struggled to speak as they entered the memorial service arranged in his honor. Outside the venue, supporters gathered holding flowers, handwritten notes, and old photographs collected over the years. Some had traveled across states just to attend. Others remained outside simply wanting to feel close to the atmosphere surrounding the farewell. Inside, large screens displayed moments from Rev. James Robison's life, smiling beside his family, speaking at packed arenas, praying with strangers, and sharing emotional messages during televised appearances that many viewers still remembered clearly. But while the service itself was already emotional, one moment continued to leave everyone waiting in silence. A tribute from Osteen had been expected by many attending the ceremony. Yet as the service continued, people began whispering quietly to each other after noticing something unusual. The tribute had still not happened, and suddenly, the entire atmosphere inside the church became filled with curiosity and emotion. Those closest to the family explained that preparations for Osteen's appearance were still ongoing, and that the planned tribute segment remained pending due to emotional circumstances surrounding the event. That single announcement created even more anticipation among those attending, because many people knew how much respect existed between the two faith leaders. Over the years, both names had often been connected through televised ministry work, conferences, and public appearances that inspired Christian audiences around the world. As guests took their seats, the camera slowly moved across the floral arrangements surrounding the casket. White roses, lilies, and soft blue hydrangeas covered nearly every corner of the stage. A large portrait of Rev. James Robison stood nearby, showing him smiling warmly in one of his most recognizable photographs. Many attendees paused for several moments before approaching the casket, as if trying to process the reality of the moment. Several pastors and longtime friends stepped forward throughout the ceremony to share memories that revealed a more personal side of the beloved televangelist. One speaker recalled how Rev. James Robison would continue encouraging people even after cameras stopped rolling. Another remembered how he privately helped struggling families without ever wanting public recognition. The stories continued one after another, each one adding more emotion to an already heartbreaking atmosphere. But even with all the tributes taking place, people still kept looking toward the side entrance where many expected Osteen to eventually appear. Some attendees quietly discussed whether the emotional pressure of the moment may have delayed the tribute. Others believed the family wanted the timing to be perfect before beginning such an important segment of the ceremony. Meanwhile, social media quickly became filled with reactions from viewers following updates from the memorial service. Many people shared old clips of Rev. James Robison's broadcasts, while others posted emotional messages, remembering how his words helped them through difficult periods in life. Supporters described him as someone who brought calmness during uncertainty and faith during hardship. Inside the church, another emotional moment unfolded when a choir performed one of Rev. James Robison's favorite worship songs. The entire audience stood together as the music echoed throughout the building. Some people closed their eyes in prayer while others simply stared quietly toward the casket. The atmosphere felt deeply personal, almost as if time itself had slowed down for everyone present. As the service continued, Family members were seen comforting each other near the front rows. Though surrounded by hundreds of attendees, their grief felt incredibly intimate. For them, this was not the public figure seen on television. This was a husband, a father, a friend, and someone whose presence had shaped their daily lives for decades.